In the last 12 months, Chip's videos are starting to catch on a little bit. And because of that increase in popularity, that's allowed us to invest in better ways to produce the product, to increase the quality of the product and the efficiency of making it for you. We're going to show you a little bit about that process today and show you our new piece of equipment. And we're going to talk to you also a little bit about the specifics of some of the products. Today's video is different. We're not in a garden, but we are outside in our John & Bob's facility. And if you're interested in the products and how they relate to gardens, specifically your garden, subscribe to our channel. I'm John Valentino, president of John & Bob's Corporation. I'm a landscape architect and a landscape contractor. This is Chip Valentino. He is currently functioning as our sales manager, and his success has resulted in our ability to automate a little bit. After 14 years of a lot of manual labor, we're automating. We're going to show you that automation today with a new piece of equipment that is going to allow everything to get a little bit better. We've generally been in business over 40 years. The John & Bob's company has been around about 14 years, and we started with very manual techniques here. So we've mixed the products you've been purchasing manually, just like this, with a flat shovel on a piece of concrete. It's rather slow and maybe not quite as thorough as we'd like. To make it completely well mixed, we spend more and more time. We pledged to change that, and we had our eye on a piece of equipment that could make the mixing much faster. When we mix 1,000 pounds, doing it with our old-fashioned way with a shovel on a piece of concrete took us about 1 hour. And now with our new machine, which works just like this, mixes it very professionally and quickly, it takes 3 minutes. So that's quite an improvement, and we hope that improvement results in an efficiency that allows us to sell at excellent prices. Even though everything's going up in cost, we're trying to keep the products as reasonable as possible, and results in a lot of efficiencies. Not only efficiencies, but quality. A better mixed product and a product that doesn't have lumps and inequalities in it. So that's quite an improvement. 3 minutes from 60 minutes. So our new batch mixer not only makes much faster mixing, but it makes for a much better product. A real good example is our Maximize, which is I don't know if you've ever smelled it, but it's a great smelling product. It smells like what really good quality compost is supposed to smell like, just a little bit sweet and nothing like manure or nothing like what you might imagine when you think of soil amendment. And Maximize is made up of a number of different things. Ground up basalt, which is from lava deposits. It's a real good quality compost. Mycorrhiza, really full of all kinds of life and food for microbes. All of those things result in a product with a lot of variability. As we get these, the raw products in, then we mix them all together. Now we mix them in our new batch mixer. And because they're naturally occurring products, they tend to have a lot of variability. We got some complaints a month or so ago about a bunch of lumps in the Maximize, and that was because the basalt just came in with a bunch of lumps in it, and as we mixed it, it didn't break up very well. So what we're able to do now with our batch mixer is mix in a way that the product will be a lot more uniform regardless of the source of our raw material and the condition of our raw material. So that's another advantage of our new batch mixer. I had an interesting conversation yesterday with one of our customers who had just purchased a lot of nourish-biosol and Blend. And Blend has nourish-biosol in it. And they had just purchased a lot of it for their new sod lawn. And they were getting resistance from their gardener and their landscape contractor, who was telling them that would be a big mistake to use organic fertilizer on new sod lawn, which is a complaint I was unfamiliar with, so I was interested in talking to them and finding out exactly what the landscape professional was telling them. I think a lot of times there's an association between organic material and animal waste. So if you have manure of any kind, obviously those can be infested with weeds. And so there's a connection in some people's minds between weeds and manure, and there's a connection between manure and organic matter. In this case, our products are weed-free and in every instance have no connection at all to manure. In the case of nourish-biosol, it's plant-based. It is not animal-based at all. It's the bloom of cultured non-GMO cottonseed meal and soybean meal. And so when those cultures bloom, that bloom is called mycelium. The mycelium is cut and dried, and that's nourish-biosol. And dried mycelium is tremendous for feeding life in the soil and full of macronutrients and micronutrients, so tremendous at feeding the plant itself. It's such a superior way to fertilize new sod in this case, because instead of using a synthetic fertilizer, which is what their professionals were encouraging them to do because they reasoned that would be weed-free, nourish-biosol is completely weed-free, plant-based, not only feeds the lawn with macronutrients and micronutrients, but it feeds the soil so that the soil can build in life, and that's even more important than any other factor in building healthy soil and producing healthy plants. So our customer yesterday that I spoke to went to some length to describe to me a friend of hers that told her about our products and that how successful they've been with it, but that they've been meeting with some resistance from their professional people applying fertilizer to their lawns and installing their garden. That's an example of what we need more of: support, spreading the word for us, and continuing to buy our product. We've gotten a lot of encouragement from you the last few months and a good response to our YouTube channel where Chip and I show you kind of our everyday use of the product in the gardens that we're working on. We'd like that to continue, and so we'd like to recruit you to tell as many people as you know about it. That will result in more innovation and automation in making the product better and trying to make it even more value-laden than it currently is. Currently, it's absolutely the easiest, least expensive way of changing everything about your soil, because the only other way to do it is by lots of compost or ways that aren't as convenient as this very progressive line of old-fashioned John and Bob's products, which change everything about the soil. So if you have a problem soil with topical applications, it allows you to change that. That's pretty unusual. So maybe we've piqued your curiosity about our products. If so, go to our website, johnandbobs.com, where they're easy to purchase and easy to learn more about. And the 4 main soil improvement products are Optimize, which is a concentrated organic matter, and Maximize, which is really full of all kinds of life and food for microbes. Then you have nourish-biosol, the best organic fertilizer I've ever used, which not only fertilizes plants, but fertilizes the soil. That's hard to find. And then lastly, our Penetrate Liquid Biotiller, which is a liquid product designed to quickly improve the percolation rate of soil and improve the exchange of air and water. It's a short-term and a long-term soil penetrant, really. And it jumpstarts the process of building life in your soil, the most important part of gardening. We're going to continue with our Plant ID contest, which many of you seem to enjoy. And again, we'll send out a complimentary bag of 3-pound Optimize for those of you that select it properly. There has been a little bit of confusion in being able to click on the link. We will post the link in the comments below that will allow you to submit your answer to us. This week's plant is a really interesting one that's a favorite of mine. A little story that I like about it is it produces a fruit that is underappreciated, I think. They're delicious. One day I was eating them, telling my employees just how great they were, and my employees were looking at me skeptically as if I was trying to poison them and they wouldn't try one. That night I went to Whole Foods, and there I saw them at Whole Foods for $9.95 a pound. And so I took a picture and I sent it to one of my employees who I couldn't talk into trying it. And the next day when I went to work, he said, "John, I want to try those." And so the $9.95 a pound at Whole Foods convinced him that it was okay to eat, and now they're big fans also. So that's a little bit of a hint, a unique, underappreciated fruit. Check out this plant and let us know by clicking on comments, and it'll take you to the right link. So you've learned more about the products. If you want to know exactly how to apply them, we've got videos that we did in the past, and you can check out those 4 videos about how to apply each product.